Caleb is salty. Caleb is salty is the content creator we are going to be looking at today. Just truthful, authentic content. That is my theme on my stream and on my YouTube. And I believe that all parents need to watch this video. This is some really, I did not know that this kind of stuff was happening.
Here we go again. Minecraft Kids content is among some of the most popular and profitable niches on the YouTube platform, and has been ever since the game came out. It's what I, and probably you if you're watching this video, consumed in some capacity growing up. However, somewhere along the way, things changed, and what once was a community filled with wholesome YouTubers, mostly, who made their content with good morals and intentions in mind, has now been almost completely overrun by selfish vultures who abuse this niche daily, spitting out low-effort, mind-numbing slop content that constantly exposes their viewers to all sorts of shocking, violent, and sexually suggestive imagery for a few extra clicks. All of this was covered in my previous video on the subject. However, what I didn't mention was that I left a lot of things out in that video.
Perhaps we should.
Harrowing things that probably would have gotten my channel completely demonetized. But after seeing the overwhelming support for my last video and the
Alright guys, you ready to have the scariest night of our lives?
Yeah, I am!
Alrighty, let's figure out where to go first.
The video you just watched is from a channel called Aphmau. Aphmau is one of the many content creators on this platform who makes Minecraft videos specifically catered towards
2 million views? 2 million views? Holy shit. That is a lot of... That is a lot of
a
views.
very young audience. Upon first glance, this content might seem pretty cringeworthy, and that's because it is. I was originally going to make this comparison to the Minecraft YouTubers I watched growing up, but honestly, especially compared to them, this content is very hard to watch. But despite this, there's still one reason all of these channels, old and new, have stuck to and continue to churn out family-friendly orientated Minecraft content: money. While you and I may never watch an Aphmau video in our lives, there is clearly a massive younger audience for it, not necessarily on YouTube, but rather its subsidiary app, YouTube Kids. In a census done back in 2020,
Well, wasn't there a giant adpocalypse to protect kids from this stuff? They came out with a freaking bill in the United States government called COPA to protect kids, the Child Online Protection Act. How is this still happening?
the United States government discovered that around 75% of households with children under the age of 5 owned some sort of tablet for their kids. And in 2023, it was reported that YouTube Kids had over 600 million individual downloads, with that number growing exponentially each year. Unfortunately, it's becoming increasingly common nowadays for newer parents to rely on apps like this as a way to keep their child entertained without having to put in any actual effort, letting them sit and watch hours of content unsupervised under the guise that it's a completely safe way for them to consume content. And the result? Channels like Aphmau earning almost 500 million views and millions of dollars each month. Fortunately for us, Aphmau is one of the better examples out of this whole niche. She does things by the books, and aside from it being a little cringy, their content is educational, suitable, and safe for kids. Aphmau's school, on the other hand, is absolutely unacceptable. They too make Minecraft related videos targeted towards children. However, the methods in which they gain their views are a little different. Instead of building a reliable and trustworthy brand that both parents and the young viewers who watch can trust, they resort to imitating an already well-known and trustworthy family-friendly content creator and
What is this? What is this?
uploading content that uses their original characters in all sorts of sexually suggestive or straight up violent ways for shock value in order to get more clicks. This manipulative strategy tricks the YouTube algorithm into recommending them alongside videos of the real content creator they're impersonating, sometimes resulting in these fake videos gaining millions more views than the original. I mean, this channel alone has made roughly over $100,000 in just a short year and a half they've been posting content. They also have 118,000 subscribers, which is more than me, so please subscribe. And of course, Aphmau's school is just one small example of the many perpetrators who make money this way. pretty much every Minecraft kids YouTuber you can think of has one, if not multiple, of these garbage-filled impersonation channels made using their brand, all of which are individually made with the sole purpose of generating insane amounts of money, inadvertently exposing a plethora of disgusting and inappropriate themes in their content to millions of unexpecting children, included.
Whose fault is this? Is it YouTube's? Is it the content creators? Is it Minecraft? Is it the parents? This is asinine. I think everyone is to blame. You shouldn't be putting your kids in front of a tablet and leaving them for hours on end. But I know for a fact, I will be taking them out to eat sand like I did when I was 5 years old. Okay? You can be climbing trees. You can be building forts. You can be playing with G.I. Joes in the sand. I will make you do that stuff. Because that is the way you should be spending your childhood. Not watching this.
Not limited to.
I don't even want to know where this is going to go, but it seems like a bad place. This is absolutely mental.
Take off the foo-foo, take off the cloud chase, take off the Wi-Fi, take off the money phone, take off...
What? What? What the hell was that? Are you kidding me? Nico fired the fatal shot at Cash.
Foo-foo, take off the cloud chase, take off the Wi-Fi.
This is being shown to
Take off the money
kids?
phone, take off the car loan, take off the flex and the Wi-Fi.
Love spell?
Take off the weird ass drip,
Oh my god, there's so much suicide?
and the microwave memes is a real world reality.
But it's okay. I have a gun.
We just tied you to the bed. Just don't shout and everything will be fine.
We're going to the
Oh.
girl's house. We knock them out and then tie them to the bed. We take scissors and cut their clothes.
But like I said, I've already discussed this before in my previous video. However, what I was very stupid to neglect at the time was that long-form video isn't the only form of media a person can consume on this platform, with the other obviously being YouTube Shorts, to which I've come to learn not only has all of the same problems, but for a myriad of reasons, is actually so much worse. By doing as little as searching up Minecraft in the YouTube search bar, we can find a plethora of different channels posting these quote-unquote Minecraft animations in the Shorts tab, all with preview images that, if left uncensored, would probably get this video demonetized, and all with tens, sometimes hundreds of millions of views each. The main difference between anything I've talked about in the past and these quote-unquote Minecraft animation shorts
understand.
is the way in which the content gets recommended to viewers. As mentioned previously,
Is this like Clockwork Orange future receding here? My god, this is a man of culture. Clockwork Orange, what a movie. If you haven't seen that movie, you need to watch it and you'll understand context. But it kind of does seem like that. Some weird dystopian truth that we are feeding children. Because these kids are going to grow up one day. What are they going to be like? What kind of humans are they going to be? This is insane. To feed this content to children? Like, you got to be a sick, twisted individual to make this shit.
the most common strategy for these fake quote-unquote family-friendly channels to lure in new viewers is to create the most shocking and attention-grabbing title and thumbnail they can, whether that be by using gruesome, violent, or sexually suggestive imagery, in order to stand out in the viewer's recommendation feed in comparison to other videos, subsequently resulting in more clicks. Think about it, these channels generate billions of views and, by proxy, an unfathomable amount of money. This revenue is generated entirely from the money advertisers pay to have their ads displayed on these videos, which honestly can be a problem in itself. I'm sure Apple would be just delighted to know that their ad is getting placed on a video and where a popular children's character gets buried alive. Like, what? YouTube splits this ad revenue with the creator.
Google needs to be stopped. Google has way too much power. It is ridiculous. You know what Google reminds me of? Let me think. What was that one movie where the AI... Skynet. Skynet. Google needs to be broken up. Okay? They cannot control the whole world. This is madness. How is Google allowing this shit?
Giving 55% of the share to them and keeping 45% for themselves. Once you start to factor in the hundreds of other channels uploading the same inappropriate content that simply haven't been documented yet, most likely thousands if we include the accounts outside of the Minecraft niche posting the same, if not even worse content with other well-known characters, you can start to paint the picture of why YouTube theoretically might want to turn a blind eye. It makes up a small but notable chunk of their revenue each year. In YouTube's eyes, throwing all morals, ethics, and damage this content is inflicting on the millions of children who use this platform every single day, getting rid of it means that YouTube would be passing up a significant amount of money, and we all know they would never do that.
YouTube ads are getting worse, so YouTube is testing server-side ads on YouTube, which means that instead of using an ad blocker on YouTube to bypass the annoying ad that you get, you're going to be forced to watch it.
So instead, they decided to take the much easier route of ignoring the problem for as long as possible, knowing they have plausible deniability because they could just blame their algorithm or something like that. Oh, we had no idea this was such a big problem. It's just an issue with our algorithm.
Oh,
And
sure.
quietly
Yeah,
rake in
yeah,
massive
yeah.
amounts of money while
see
simultaneously
nothing.
silencing individual
I didn't see
creators who
nothing.
make videos attempting to expose and raise awareness about this issue, because unfortunately, we are a much smaller and easier target to deal with.
If my videos, which are like more censored than the ones online, are getting flagged, and the human reviewer is saying that, hey, this is not appropriate, we can't have this, and how are like complete full channels allowed to exist, right? Like they need to fix their human review system and either allow my content or they need to block other content.
No, I'm sorry, but again, whose fault is this? Because there are people to blame here. One is definitely Google. Okay? Google AdSense. Who the hell is running that to let this go rampant? This is worse than the adpocalypse. This is way worse. Number 2. What are parents really doing? I am no parent again, but is this all that parents do is just throw their child in front of a tablet and then leave them? Is that really what's happening? Because clearly that's the case. And 3 is YouTube. Where does this end? Are we just going to birth a generation of psychopaths? Like, what is this really doing to a kid's psyche? I'm sure it must affect them. It must have some psychological effect to watch this kind of twisted content, because when you're 5 years old, 6 years old, 10 years old, okay, your brain is mush. You don't know what the world is. So you're absorbing this information about all sorts of nasty ass content. It is going to have an effect, and it's going to normalize, it's going to desensitize what's going on in your brain. Bro, this is why I've said it before, but my generation, and I'm not trying to sound like a boomer no, I'm not that I am a boomer, I'm an elder millennial, but let me just tell you something here. My generation was born in an analog world, and we have stepped foot into the digital world. We understand what life was like without the internet, without tablets, without cell phones, without Facebook, Instagram, Threads, Twitter, YouTube, all of that. We will be the last generation to live that world. And it is insanely important that we keep those traditions going forward through further generations. We need to teach people how to be human before we teach them how to be digital nomads. Okay? It is an essential thing that we need to teach kids.
Censored, right? Like it can't be this weird middle ground where somehow my videos are being censored yet the other ones are not.
In my previous video, I touched on the proven and lasting side effects that watching this content from such a young age can do to an individual in the long term. Multiple studies have proven that children's ages 0 to 8, the primary target of both YouTube Kids and these channels, are in the most formative years of their life. Everything they do, learn, and consume in these years play a huge part in shaping the type of person they'll be for the rest of their lives. This is why traditional kids programming such as PBS Kids always ends with a positive, educational, and age-appropriate lesson being learned. It's because all shows on the network are specifically designed to support a child's development in these crucial years and promote healthy, positive behavior as seen in their official educational guidelines.
Understand, we routinely review our existing lineup to ensure that our schedules offer age-appropriate coverage of social, emotional, cognitive, physical, and language development. Why is that so hard to...
But you know what platform isn't properly regulated and is quickly becoming more popular than traditional programming? YouTube and YouTube Kids. Studies show that children exposed to violent and suggestive media at such a young age can develop lasting trauma and create serious damage to the development of the brain. And that's exactly what's reflected in the comments of my last video. Ever since I was 9, I've been exposed to sexual content on YouTube, and ever since then, my life has gotten a lot worse. I keep getting random headaches and can't focus on one thing playing for more than 60 minutes at a time. I've also had a lot of memory losses due to this content and have sadly developed an addiction. Not me.
Anyway,
Watch these videos. He developed a severe addiction. It took him months to stop. When I was little, a bunch of these
Man,
Minecraft and LCD
this is-
videos popped up, and from then for 8 years, I am one who was exposed to this. This is an extremely big problem. This is really effective. Messes with the mind. Bro, I used to watch this shit too, and it's given me horrible trauma and got me addicted to it. I just turned 18 a week ago, and YouTube back in 2016, 2017 messed me up in such a big way. I struggled with so much depression, and being exposed to so much vile content ruined my perception on myself and how I acted consciously. And I've lost a lot of my most important.
this is intense. This is really, really intense. Why is nothing being done about this? Negligence of a multi-billion-dollar company.
Videos were popping up on YouTube Kids. So lately, every time I go on YouTube, there's these really strange videos showing up on my trending page. I mean, they seem to be aimed at young kids, but they're super creepy and disturbing. These videos almost always use what are otherwise household family-friendly characters such as Spider-Man and Elsa, doing a variety of blatantly inappropriate or disturbing things, but tagged in such a way as to circumvent YouTube's child safety algorithms and appear on the homepage of YouTube Kids. This phenomenon would not go unnoticed, as more and more of these channels began to pop up, all with hundreds of millions of views each. The number
6
of
billion
concerned parents
views!
complaining and demanding of kids.
6 billion views! Holy shit! Holy
Began to pop up, all with hundreds of millions of views each. The number of concerned parents complaining and demanding a fix from YouTube began to significantly increase, and eventually, this disturbing trend would catch the attention of major news outlets who would also begin to raise their alarm bells via a bunch of extremely well-written articles.
If you ever let your child watch YouTube videos, we have got a warning for you. Some people are creating disturbing cartoons, making them appear kid-friendly, only to get your children to watch inappropriate content.
That's right.
Oh, you know when it gets to mainstream media, shit has hit the fan. You know when mainstream media is reporting on stuff that's alternative media, you know shit's got real. Also, the controversy surrounding videos on YouTube Kids. What? And the controversy surrounding on YouTube video kids were categorized as child-friendly but contain themes inappropriate for children. These videos often featured fictional characters from family-oriented view without legal permission. Controversy included channels that focused on this was the thing? Jeez. Oh my
Reports
god.
and millions of individual complaints, YouTube did almost nothing to fix the situation. Until November 27th of that year, when in a BuzzFeed article, YouTube finally announced they were cracking down on the problem, removing over 150,000 of these inappropriate videos and demonetizing over 2 million more. Please note that this announcement, while positive and overall a pretty big win for the platform, just so happened to occur only 3 days after a bunch of major brands and advertisers had pulled out due to the entire scandal.
Of course.
YouTube, years later,
Of
would
course.
also get fined $170 million by the FTC, partially for having such a glaring issue with their quote-unquote kids content.
Oh, so when it started affecting your bottom line, you thought it's time to get involved, right?
Child safety rules. As a result of this, YouTube would also update their guidelines to ban any inappropriate use of quote family entertainment characters, and also implement a brand new labeling system, forcing creators to decide whether or not their videos are made for kids. If a video is determined to be made for kids, it will lose a majority of features that normal videos have, such as the comment section, and most importantly, personalized ads and a majority of ad revenue. But if that's the case, then how are these channels, which are clearly targeted towards children, still able to make so much money? And the answer is about as simple as it is aggravating. To be honest, it really doesn't matter what option the creator chooses.
No, because I am a YouTuber and I have made this and tested it because I've done animations that I wanted to make just for kids, like friendly, fun, cool little animations, right? It don't matter. This means nothing. These two little tabs mean nothing.
As both types of content, even ones specifically marked as not for kids, actively get recommended through the YouTube Kids app, as long as the video looks family friendly enough in the eyes of the algorithm by loading up the thumbnail with a bunch of bright colors and swapping out any potentially dangerous words like rape with prank or with love curse. It will get recommended just the same. And there's a really easy way to prove this that you can do yourself. Just go to literally any of the channels I've mentioned so far, click on a random video, and take a look at the engagement on the actual video. For example, this video has 213,000 views, yet only 1,100 likes and only 40 comments. This is because when you watch a video on YouTube Kids, it doesn't have any of the extra buttons or features. It only allows you to watch the video. But since the video is still coming from YouTube, it still counts as a view. And the only engagement that's actually getting left on the video is from other kids using the regular YouTube app, probably using their parents' account. And yeah, it's pretty easy to tell by the quality of the comments here. Kind of funny how even though YouTube implemented these supposed changes to make the platform safer, it appears it's now easier than ever to run one of these content farms due to its simple editing style, low production costs. Hell, even the recent developments in AI technology, specifically for voice lines and text-to-speech, it's no problem for a single person operating one of these Minecraft Kids content farms. However, for many reasons we'll dive into shortly, they might just be the worst of the worst. Because it's one thing to upload this disgusting content with the goal of monetary gain, but what's even more worrying and truly vile is owning channels like these, then trying to communicate with your audience and lure them off the site. Earlier this year, on January 26th, a YouTuber named The Beak uploaded a video showcasing his discovery of a very strange set of channels which impersonate characters from The Amazing Digital Circus, a very popular children's animated series on YouTube, which, for whatever reason, has absolutely taken off and garnered over 500 million views in just the first 2 full-length episodes. In other words, it's just another example of these channels exploiting familiar and trusted family-friendly characters for views, and tricking children into watching content that is all but family friendly. Let's take a quick look at what Neil thinks is acceptable to post.
This kind of makes me ashamed to be a human being. Like, you know what this kind of brings up for me?
To classify your species, I realized that you're not actually mammals. Every mammal on this planet instinctively develops a natural equilibrium with the surrounding environment, but you humans do not. You move to an area and you multiply, and multiply until every natural resource is consumed. And the only way you can survive is to spread to